guys, welcome back to my channel. We're here today with another video in the series 30 more reviews in 30 days. I think that's the name we settled on for this month. And it's good that we settled on a name because the reviews themselves are not going so great. But we are here today with another review. We're going to be talking about House Story by Jasmine Roth, subtitled Insider Secrets to the Perfect Home Renovation. I'm trying to capture the light so that this is not just a glare. Jasmine Roth, if you are not familiar, or maybe you are familiar, she is an HGTV star. She currently has a show called Help I Wrecked My House, where she helps homeowners who've tried to do renovation projects on their own. They haven't gone the professional way. They're doing a lot of DIY projects, and they've found out that home renovation is not something that you should just like watch YouTube videos and tackle yourself. YouTube is great for things like discussing books, but maybe not to give you instructions on how to take down a wall in your house. So she attacks some of those maybe misconceptions in here. But this book is really a guide. It's meant, I think, to give you the confidence to tackle some projects at home, to make a decision about what you want your house to say about you. It's supposed to help you figure out what you want your home to be, what you want it to look like, what you want it to feel like, how you want it to meet the functions that you need from your home, but also to show you some of what should be your limitations if you're not a professional, in the construction world. Showing you some of the things that you should not tackle on your own and just kind of walking you through why that is. So she talks about that a little bit on her show, although, the show is showing how Jasmine Roth and her team come in and help these homeowners out. But it also kind of highlights, sometimes the mess that you make when you try to do a project yourself and you invest money, resources, and time into trying something yourself, and then you have to call in the professional anyway, and then it costs you more because now you have to pay them to demolish what you did or to try to fix what you did, and then to try to get you to what your vision was in the first place. So we've been doing a little bit of home renovation ourselves, and I don't mean ourselves as in we were doing anything. We had some renovations being done here in our home during the summer months. In August, towards the latter part of August, we started working on our bathroom. We had a gentleman come in. I keep calling him a gentleman. He's my friend. And we had him come in to redo our bathroom. And it took so much longer than we expected. It initially was supposed to take us about a week. It took us the better part of 7 weeks. And during that time, we were in the house, in the home, kind of piecing together what we need from the home as this part of the house is cordoned off. We're not able to use this bathroom and so on. So she mentions some of that in here. She talks about how sometimes projects just take longer than you expect, and what are some of the things that you can expect to run into, and how to prepare yourself for those things that you may not necessarily anticipate, but you should definitely plan for. This book is, I guess it's more like a coffee table book is what you probably would want to say this book is, because there are lots of photos, there are lots of graphs, there are checklists, there are like blueprint layouts, but it's also a really useful, I think, just guide and companion to whatever project you may want to tackle. In the beginning, in the first few pages, she tells you that you need to write your own house story. She says you need to find a balance between what you visualize, but also what your house and your architectural style currently is. Here are the 4 core designs. They're contemporary, cottage, traditional, and rustic. So she gives you an example of the exterior, and she also gives you a picture of looks that will complement that. So she gives you paint color, she gives you a way to style or how to choose the font for the number that goes on your house, the front of your house, house numbers. She gives you a guide to maybe the font that kind of complements that style. So she gives you door choices and window choices and the hardware for your front door and paint color and how to choose the style of your toilet and the wood floors, or whether you want wood and that kind of stuff. So, and she does that for the four. She does that for the four core designs, and then she talks a little bit about the style add-ons. So yes, you live in a traditional home, but maybe you want to incorporate a specific kind of style. So do you want a traditional industrial? You want traditional farmhouse? That kind of thing. So here are the add-ons. You could get Cape Cod, industrial, craftsman, mid-century modern, colonial, farmhouse, Scandinavian, vintage, organic, Spanish, boho, Tudor, cabin, Tuscan. And each one of those has some characteristics that accompany it that will help you to bring out that style. And so then she gives you worksheets. There's the real life worksheet and the dream worksheet, and how to figure out how to marry the two. So in the real life worksheet, you want to think about where you currently live and whether that's a rural setting. Do you rent or own? Do you have HOA limitations? How old is your home? How would you describe the exterior and the interior style as it is presently? And what are some things in your home that you would not change? And what are some things that you definitely want to change? And then in your dream life worksheet is to kind of think about what's the style that you could live with long term. So where do you wish that you lived as opposed to where you do live? There's somewhere you travel that you wish you could stay for the rest of your life. What drew you in? And maybe think about how you can incorporate some of those characteristics in your home. Do you prefer things to be sparse or minimal or clean lines? Do you use your home to work? Do you entertain? Do you like spaces that feel new or spaces that feel lived in or something in between? And how would you shop for your home if you didn't have to think about anyone else, or if you didn't have to think about a budget, that kind of thing? So those are questions that you ask yourself as you are planning your house story. And then she talks about how that house story is lived out in all the choices that you make. So when you're choosing, when you're doing your kitchen and you're thinking about cabinets and countertops and lighting, how you think about all those elements to incorporate it. So I love this book. I think it's a really great resource. It makes you want to do some renovations, but it also makes you think about the things that you can do to make your home more you, more representative of you and your needs and your taste and your personality. And what are some of the things that you can do to make those changes without doing renovations? So there's a lot of design. It is, thinking about your furniture and your curtains and your floors and rugs and placement of rugs and how you can layer things to add texture and small DIY projects. And she does encourage DIY projects to a certain limit. So, at a moderate, in a moderate way, I guess. And so this book, I think, is a really great companion for just anyone who's interested in designing their home and trying to take full advantage of what you can get from your home in terms of how it reflects your personality, and also how it fits the functions that it needs to for you and all the people who live with you. So, right now we are kind of in a state of flux in our home because we have a toddler. And so we put things up high, things that we don't want her to be able to get to because they're valuable or they're maybe a little dangerous. So right now, our style is just function. It's a lot of vertical movement for function. But we're also thinking about how just to make the space a little bit more kid friendly, so we're not always moving things, and we're encouraging our daughter to live in the space and to appreciate nice things without destroying them. maybe that's me projecting my dream onto real life again. But yeah, this book I think is a really great read. It's, you know, like I said, it's a coffee table book. You could put it on and just flip through whatever section means the most to you at this time. But it's also a really interesting book if you read it from front to back. It's one of the first books like this that I have read cover to cover recently. So, house story, a different kind of story, but a really interesting book, and I'm going to recommend that you check it out. We have Nonfiction November coming up next month, of course, in November. So if you're looking for books that are a little bit different to pick up in November, I'm going to encourage you to check this one out. Full disclosure, this was a gift from Penguin Random House. The publishers offered me a copy and I said, yeah, because I love HGTV. That's one of the few channels that I watch on TV when I do watch TV. And I am just obsessed with home decor and home renovations. And so I'm so excited to have this book and to be able to share it with you. And I hope that you will check this one out. It is $35 retail, but you know, you might buy it someplace and get it on a discount. But definitely, if you're interested in decor, if you like Jasmine Roth on HGTV, if you like HGTV like I do, maybe you want to put this on your wish list for Christmas. Then we wouldn't be able to read it in Nonfiction November. But this is a great book whenever you read it. So, House Story by Jasmine Roth, Insider Secrets to the Perfect Home Renovation. Check this one out if you can. I hope you like this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more. We'll be back next time for another review. And until then, happy reading. Bye. Oh, and comment down below. Let me know, if you watch HGTV. Let me know if you like HGTV. I would love to chat with you about that.